There's only a few things that I'm actually afraid of: getting arrested, failing a test, getting fired, and someone walking in on me filming a YouTube video. It is embarrassing how long it took me to get ready for this video. I honestly don't know how YouTubers do this for every video. Let's do this. Hi, my name is Jamie. Welcome back to my channel. I'm assuming most of you watching this have seen my video being an exchange student in France. So it was posted in June, and so a few people have asked me questions on that video. So I thought I would just sit down and do kind of like a question and answer video. I was actually just in Paris and I met up with my exchange partner slash host slash friend. And I wanted to do the Q&A with her, but we were only there for like 2 days, and so I only saw her for a few hours. So it didn't work out, but whatever, I'll just do it solo, whatever. A few of you guys asked me some questions. I'm just gonna go on Twitter and read off some of the questions. No one asked you questions on Twitter. Yeah, no, just kidding. Nobody asked me questions on Twitter. Or at all, actually, so I'm just gonna make up my own questions. Would this be a good opportunity to do a self-promo? No one cares. You're irrelevant as fuck. Alright, so let's hop into some questions. Wow, I look like such a YouTuber with my Christmas tree in the background, so festive. All I'm missing is a cup of coffee in my hand and a candle. If you somehow ended up on the weird part of YouTube and you ended up on this video and you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'll link down the video that I posted about my exchange. I did an exchange program a few years ago, so I'll link that down below. Alright, well here's a question. Somebody asked on my video, how do you do exchange students? So how I became an exchange student was I actually had a representative from the exchange program come speak at my school, so I was very fortunate that way. I didn't have to go search for different programs. I was introduced to one right in my own school. So it was just a little presentation saying, if you're interested in this exchange, we're having a meeting at lunch. So I went to the meeting, thought, why not get some more info? So there, the lady talked about the whole exchange, how it works. It was a reciprocal exchange, so I had a French student who I've posted many videos with now come live with me for 3 months, and then a few months later I went to go live with her for 3 months, which is where my exchange student video took place and everything like that. So, oh, I keep touching my hair. That meeting just gave me some more detailed information, and then to actually get an idea of the cost, how to actually sign up, fill out all the forms. There was a meeting like later in the week. So yeah, I ended up going to that meeting with 2 of my best friends. So I guess if you didn't know, I guess I didn't really talk about it in the video, but 2 of my best friends also did the exact same exchange, but they lived in 2 different cities in France. So it's pretty fun that we all got to kind of experience it together. And yes, the exchange program that I went with was called OSEF. I think it's a program meant for just Canadians. I'll link them down below if you are Canadian. Unfortunately, I don't know of many programs in the US. I know that I have a girl that used the Rotary program. Also, a few of you guys commented about the what's it called? AFS. Okay, so that's a program I don't really know much about. I think it's pretty popular worldwide though. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of programs to look into. I was lucky enough to have one come right to my school. So that's how I got involved in the whole application process. Or just going back to the application process, I didn't actually have to do an interview or anything like that. It was just kind of whoever was interested got to go. There was just like a lot of forms to fill out. I had to renew my passport. Yes, I was in the 11th grade when I went, so I had just turned 17. Essentially, I was an exchange student for 11 weeks. Yes, I was in a school, and here in Canada, when you're in high school, your school year is divided into 2 semesters. So your classes change between each semester. But in France, at least the school that I went to, it was like they didn't really have a break in between or a change of classes. They would just have the same schedule all year long. And when I went, I was only there for 11 weeks, and it was kind of in the middle of the school year, so it was a little awkward for me to try to catch up on everything that the rest of the class had learned. So I didn't essentially have a lot of assignments to do. I did go to all the classes and I took notes and everything like that, but the teachers didn't really know what to assign me because I was there for such a short time. I did end up getting a report card though. It was really funny going to like English class because, okay, here's the story. So yes, I would go to English class sometimes just to watch the English movies, just because for me it was just watching a movie. It was fun. We watched Bend It Like Beckham. Remember that? It's funny. And oh, mini heart attack. Okay. Just heard something move. But what was funny was I remember, yeah, the very first English class that I had there, the teacher, she knew that I was from Canada, so she wanted me to just make like a little presentation to show the rest of the class about where I was from in Canada, just a little bit about myself and about the history of Canada and stuff like that. So me and my exchange partner, Anna, I've shown her in a couple videos already, so I'll just call her Anna. She helped me put together this presentation, and so I showed it to the front of the class. However, I don't know if I was speaking too fast or what, but as I was going through the presentation, the whole class was just looking at me like, you know, like, just like so like confused. And I was just, oh, lighting change. Okay, that's cool. So I was just really like, ooh, did I say, was it something I said? But I guess it turns out it's my accent. So I actually didn't even think of this, but when French students or anyone in Europe really learns English, obviously they learn it with like the British accent. And so I think, I don't know, even though the accents aren't that different, I think they had a harder time understanding, or it was just a bit more confusing. Kind of like how Quebec French is very different from France French, just the accent alone makes it very difficult to understand sometimes. So yeah, that was a little bit mortifying for me because the teacher actually asked if they had any questions, and not a single person asked a question, so oh well, that happened. Yeah, almost every 2 months they would have like a 2-week break. So when I was there, I was actually there during the 2-week break, and that's when we did a lot of the traveling. That's when we went to Lyon, which I posted in the video. Where else did we go? Oh my god, it was so long ago. I can't believe I'm forgetting. Anyway, this isn't really that important, but that's when we did a lot of the traveling, which I posted in that exchange student video. So you didn't see a lot of the school parts, but essentially I just put like the highlights of my exchange in that video. Of cost, okay, so that might be something to mention. It was, I want to say, 3,800 Canadian dollars for the 3 months. What that included was mainly the airfare, just like the round trip, and also with that exchange, as soon as we landed in France, we had 2 days of sightseeing in Paris. So we had the tour bus, and it was just go, go, go. That included the hotel and the food and everything for those 2 days. Yeah, so it mainly covered the airfare and that little trip, and then everything else was just kind of up to the family. So when Anna came to visit my family in Canada, we would just cover all the activities that we did and things like that. And then it was the same when I went to France, so it kind of balanced out that way. So it is pretty pricey. Like, I would say it was definitely worth it. Okay, so in terms of what the family life was like in France, so yeah, that was very eye-opening just to see the culture difference. It was my first time going anywhere outside of North America, so it was interesting just to see like little differences that you wouldn't really think of. For example, I remember just the meals. They just have very strict meal times. So Yeah, of course you had breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then you had goûter or just like a snack or whatever. So that was just very normal just to eat at those times. It was kind of weird to be eating like in between, whereas in North America you just kind of eat whenever you want. You eat breakfast at noon, you eat dinner at like 11 p.m, you just snack all day. So that was very different, just to have your set meal times. But the food was so good. Just the cheeses and the bread. Oh my god, baguette and cheese. That was the best. But it was interesting. I would eat so much food, but I would always still be like hungry. Like, I don't know, for some reason I ate so much food, but I ended up losing weight. It was the weirdest thing. The family I stayed with, they were amazing. It was just Anna and her mom. But they did so much for me to make sure I had a good time. They took me to Euro Disney. They took me to, of course, everything that I showed in the video. To Paris, Mont Saint-Michel, Honfleur, the Chateau de Versailles. That's literally the most beautiful building I have ever seen. I'm so happy that I got to see the inside. Yeah, there's actually a show called Versailles that I actually started watching. I really like watching it now just because I've been there. So it kind of helps me. I don't even know if the story is based on true events, but anyway, that's getting a little off topic. There were some awkward moments sometimes when, you know, you're trying your best to explain something and you can't just say it in English. So it would be kind of frustrating when you're trying so hard and it makes sense in your head, but they don't get it just because they're not used to your way of speech. You do kind of have a different personality in another language, I think, just like the vocabulary that you use. So sometimes that could be frustrating, but if anything, the exchange itself just put me outside my comfort zone, which was honestly, I think, what I needed, because before I was just such a shy person. And when you're put in that situation where, you know, you're speaking in a second language and people aren't going to understand you as easily, you really do need to just try your hardest to like voice what you really want. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but it really just did help with shyness in general. I'm not as shy anymore, so oh my god, the lighting keeps changing. I thought this wasn't recording for a second. I was like, oh my god. Yes, honestly, the family life was amazing. Was the exchange worth it? 100% yes. I wish I could do more exchanges actually. Like, if you're even considering an exchange, I would just do it, just apply, just see what happens, because if you're in high school or something like that, that is the best time to do something like that because you don't really have any other responsibilities, and honestly the memories will last you a lifetime. Luckily, me and my exchange partner, we got along very, very well, and we've actually met up a couple times since our exchange. She's come. Oh my god, I'm going through such YouTuber problems right now. My memory card is filling up, so I better hurry up, but I think I was talking about just the exchange. So, stay in focus, stay with me. Me and my exchange partner are still very, very good friends, so yeah, I have nothing but good things to say. Okay, well, hopefully this works. There were times when I would get a little homesick, like obviously, like, I don't mind being away from home, but like you miss your friends, you feel like you're being left out of what's going on at home. And it would just be mentally exhausting trying to think in a different language all day. Yes, I did do a French immersion school growing up, but half the time in French class, you wouldn't really speak French and you wouldn't speak French at home. So being in an environment where you're speaking French all day, every day, it could just be very mentally exhausting. Like, I was like usually pretty tired because my brain just needed a break from all the thinking. If you guys have any other questions pertaining to this exchange, feel free to leave me comments. I love comments. Spend my whole time reading comments. So I hope that was helpful in any way. Just a very casual Q&A. Like, obviously I didn't read any questions because like no one asked me questions. Long. Turns out it's way harder to sit down and film a video than you would think. All depends on the lighting, which isn't really cooperating. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, hope it was helpful. I'm really not a fan of super long outros, so I'm gonna keep it short. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video.